Good morning. So I'd like to talk about frustrations, and that's often the piece that people find hardest in the Imago relationship therapy. The frustration is often at the point of the impasse. What your partner wants from you the most is what you find most difficult to give, or you have the most resistance to. And if you remember, though, Imago theory states that we're often attracted to someone who has both the positive but also negative traits of our family of origin. But you say, well, how does that show up in a relationship? Well, I'll use myself as an example. Probably oversimplifying, but just to make a point. Because if my partner, growing up, from her subjective perception, felt that she didn't get her emotional needs met, coming from her childhood, who does she marry? Me, who couldn't meet those emotional needs because of my growing up as a youngster. Remember, my dad died when I was 5. It's during the war. I'm sent to a military boarding school. I like the boarding school. I had a lot of friends, played a lot of sports, but in hindsight, certainly didn't learn how to deal with feelings very well. So as long as this remains unconscious, it led to disaster. But as we learned the Imago system and became more aware, then in reality, I have married my healer, because as I stretched to meet her very legitimate needs in the feeling arena, then I also healed myself. A part of me that was stunted growing up begins to heal. So it really is a win-win. Now, the reframe for you is to see conflict, the frustration, as growth trying to happen. All right? And our job is to turn a frustration into a request. And ironically, think about it, typically a frustration doesn't bother your partner, but it does bother you. True? If my partner was late, it bothered me, it didn't bother her, So why? And that's the harder question. And often the why leads us back to a need that wasn't met growing up. So the behavior change request dialogue that we use is the person who's frustrated asks for 3 behavior change requests from their partner. And the behavior change requests are specific, positive, and time limited. It's not for the next 10 years, but maybe for the next week or two. And the request will either shut down the frustration completely or at least slow it down. If their partner can do 1, that's 100%. All right? 1's 100%. And honest to God, in 30 years, always, something can be figured out that the partner can achieve. That will slow down their frustration or take it away for a short time, a week or a month. Does it fix everything? No. But 2 things it does. One is it gives both partners insight into why something that could be fairly innocuous is such a frustration. And 2, as I stretch to meet my partner's needs, I not only heal her, but I'm really healing a stunted part of myself. So it really is a win-win. But again, you have to be conscious. You have to be aware. Okay, so have a great week, and we'll see you Thursday.